Hello and welcome back to the draw. We have some events to go over from last week: LPGA, PGA, DP World Tour. Brian, last week kind of an exciting weekend of golf. Not the biggest tournaments, but we had some good finishes on the PGA Tour. We had a playoff finish on the LPGA Tour. Let's start. Xander Schauffele getting his first win since the 2024 Open Championship over at the Baycurrent in Japan. Played well at the Ryder Cup. Other than that, it's kind of a disappointing year. I know he only played in like 15 events or 16 events because of his injury. Did make the cut in all of them, but just coming off a two major season where he won twice, just disappointing, kind of like come off the best year of your career and now all of a sudden you don't win until the end of the year. Good for him. Couldn't watch mostly because again, time change was hard. It looked like Grazerman was going to win again, just like last year. But in the end, Xander came out on top.
No, it's really great to see that from Xander. I mean, he had a round of a 63 and a 64. That's kind of like that's the prime Xander that we're used to seeing on the PGA Tour. In the tournament this week, he was sixth in strokes gained putting. He was sixth in scrambling, and he led the field with 25 birdies on the week. So that's what I like to see from Xander Schauffele. I think that's what the world expects to see from Xander Schauffele. Maybe not win every time out. He's not really Scotty Scheffler level, but that's really nice to see him back in form at kind of this stage of the year.
Yeah, I mean he loves Japan, and I know in my article that posted on our website I wrote about this. His mom was raised in Japan, wasn't born there, was raised in Japan. His grandparents still live there. His mother-in-law is Japanese. His wife is half Japanese. So he really loves playing there. He obviously won the Olympics there in 2021, got the gold medal there. So just I know he talked about it in his interview afterwards, how he can't wait to bring his son and show him the culture. So I think it's one of those tournaments that he's always going to play in. He loves the area. It's good to see some of these bigger name guys going over. I know Max Homa was in the field, so you're just not getting you're getting the full experience if you're over there. I know Japan loves their golf. I know Hideki's such a icon there for his golf game. He's easily the best Japanese golfer on the male side by far, especially after winning that Masters. He's won that event. So it's a cool tournament. It's always nice to see. I mean, like you're saying, Xander kind of getting back to his way, him putting well. I saw this stat from Justin Ray. He tweeted, I think, Sunday morning. He hit every fairway in 16 greens in regulation in the final round. If you're trying to win a golf tournament, there's the recipe. I mean, you hit every fairway, you set it up. A great round by Xander. You got to feel for Grazerman. It's his fifth career runner-up. He finished here second last year, one shot behind Nico Echeverria. So 2 years in a row, one stroke short at this tournament. It's coming. He's a good player. He's just kind of get over that hump. But I mean, he didn't even have a bad round. He shot a pretty good round. He just lost to a better player, and that's how it goes. Um, I mean, yeah, it's tough. I mean, the best round of the day though was Mac McCarty shot a 60. He made birdie on the first 8 holes of the back nine.
Was
All
this
he had to do,
was this the one where he hit the ball out of bounds on the last hole?
yes. All he had to do was make par on the last hole for 59. And he hits his ball so far left, has to re-tee, hits his provisional, hits that one in the fairway, hits that one to 8 feet, and makes bogey. If he would have just played his shot the first time, like he did the second drive, he would have made another birdie, would have shot 58. Still crazy. He will be the defending champion in 2 weeks when they play out in Utah. So coming off that round, he should be feeling pretty good. I know he was one of those Corn Ferry graduates from last year that won right away. And outside of his win, had an okay year. So I mean, shooting 59 would have been nice. But yeah, a wild round. Just hitting the fairway. Like I don't know, maybe the nerves got to him, but to be have 8 birdies in a row and you've got to be clicking on all cylinders, and all of a sudden you hit one bad tee shot, like man, golf. I don't get it. I don't understand it sometimes. He was just playing so good and you just hit one bad shot after hitting so many good ones.
I feel like he
Yeah,
had to be thinking
I
about it too. He knew he was in probably 59 territory. I know when I've got a decent round going, I'm on like getting down the stretch. I'm like thinking about like, okay, here we go. Like the mess up's got to
yeah.
be here, got to be coming. Like,
Yeah, I saw his interview afterwards. He was like, it's really tough to be sad after a closing round 60 that I think got him into the top 10. But he was like, I had a chance to do something that not many people have done before. So yeah, it's tough. It's a tough way to finish, but also a great round. Sets the 18-hole scoring record for the Baycurrent Classic. But again, he'll be the defending champion in 2 weeks out in Utah. Over on the LPGA Tour, I thought we were going to have another first time winner, another new winner. When I went to bed around 1 a.m. Saturday, Gina was, I think, 4 shots back. And I go, there's no way. And then I wake up to her winning in a playoff. I mean, she's the world number one for a reason. Like,
absolutely.
I don't know what else to say to that.
It was a really great week for Gino. I mean, she had 9 1 putts in her final round. I know a month ago in Ohio, she had that 4 putt on the 18th hole to lose to Charlie Hull. So it's really great to see Gino kind of come back and really show that her putting is what makes her the best player in the world right now, the number one player in the world, and very well deserved victory to be the first repeat winner on the tour this season.
Yeah, I saw that she shot 63. So that's the lowest final round by an LPGA winner this season. So good for her on that. It was her lowest round of the four days. So saving the best for last. Again, it's not a shock when it comes to her winning. She's won. This is her sixth career win. And again, fifth playoff appearance at LPGA Tour. So that's a lot. She's used to it. The runner-up, Katsu, never really been in a playoff. It's tough to go against the world number one. I mean, to get it through 5 holes. I know Gino hit the one on the one hole, hit the ball out of bounds and in the water and still made par. But a great tournament for Katsu.
Yeah, she
Again,
didn't even play poorly. I know her final round, she went bogey free and she shot I think 7 under. So like what are you really gonna do about like it's like the same thing on the PGA tour. You got one of the best players in the world, if not the best player in the world, just chasing you down. Just the better player
yeah.
won at the end of the day. Nothing you can really do about that.
Yeah, I think she'll probably be kicking herself for the last 5 holes where she made one birdie and Gino goes 3 birdies and an eagle, just go berserk to tie it.
Hmm.
Again, can you really do anything about that? Probably not, but maybe you'd like one more birdie. But again, still good finish. Um, I was this is Gino's first win as world number one, which I thought was crazy. But she's had a good year. I mean, obviously we remember the 4 putt from a couple weeks ago, like you mentioned. Her last four starts, all top 10 finishes, has 2 top 10 finishes in majors this year.
She is, I think,
Kind of
she's three runner-ups, I think, on the season, or three or four maybe. So she's been up there with a chance to win many times.
Yeah, I mean, again, she a year after where Nelly Korda looked like the most dominant woman golfer in the world, she's kind of said like, well, don't forget about me. Like I'm young, I'm good, and I think it's good. Like I think again, Nelly hasn't won it all this year, and she's been close a couple times, but I think having that battle up top because like right now, like yeah, Scotty is the best player on the PGA Tour, but there's Tommy Fleetwood who's right there. Rory, who is the best player probably in the world for the first 2 months, 3 months before Scotty went on his run kind of in the middle of the summer. Like, I think it's good for Gino and Nelly to just kind of have that competition go back and forth. I think one being an American, one being from Thailand. Like, I think it's good for the game of golf. I think the international versus American golfer, I think that's always a fun little storyline.
I'd
Like,
argue that you might have a big three in the women's golf with Minjee Lee kind of down there. I know she might not be
yeah,
necessarily compete. She's right now she's second place on the in the season long standings. And I don't know, maybe she's not necessarily competing for the number one in the world spot, but she won a major this year and she's consistently at the top of the leaderboards. So maybe that big three, I don't necessarily want to exclude her. I know Nelly and Gino maybe way at the top, but maybe like I didn't. It's not necessarily like a tennis, like an
yeah, no,
Alcaraz Sinner situation where it's just those two. I mean, there.
yeah.
I would like to include Minjee Lee with that too.
Yeah, no, yeah, for sure. I mean, I think again, I was rooting for another first time winner and a new winner just to because I thought that'd be cool. But Again, good for the LPGA Tour. Finally, kind of get a repeat winner. Again, it's no shock that Gino's done it. That's 2 years in a row with multiple wins on tour. Again, she's first in the Rolex ranking, first on their season-long point list as they come down the stretch here. On the DP World Tour, Marco Penge, he won the Espana de Open de Espana. He kind of was cruising like through 3 rounds. He had a 4-stroke lead and it's like, all right, he's going to run away with this tournament. And all of a sudden, you look up and he has a one-shot lead on the 10th hole. He did eventually make a couple more birdies, but then Daniel Brown, he came back, forced the playoff on the first birdie hole. Penge made birdie, Brown made par. That is his third win of his career and third of the season. So right now, he is second on their season long race. So their race to Dubai rankings, which is like their FedEx Cup. He is clinched for the most part. It's not official yet, but he will be on the PGA Tour next year. The top 10 on the race to Dubai rankings who aren't already exempt on the PGA Tour will get a PGA Tour card. So he's second behind Rory McIlroy. There was a little talk coming into the Ryder Cup, like could he be one for that 12th spot? But then once Rasmus Højgaard got that automatic qualifier spot, I think you kind of just took him off the list. Same with a couple other guys. Good for him. Really pretty swing. I was watching that finish and I was just like, it's just an aesthetically pleasing swing. He's he's played well. He gets into the Masters. He gets into the Open Championship next year. I think he's 31st in the world. So again, not a well-known name over here on the in the USA, but I think someone who can kind of make that jump, kind of similar to that Matthew Pavon, who not this past year, but last season, he came over through this exemption, got his PGA Tour card through the DP World Tour. He burst onto the scene. I think he won the Torrey Pines and he finished second or third of the US Open
Hmm.
to Bryson at Pinehurst. Again, he's good. Again, another good tournament over there, another playoff on the GP World Tour. It seems like every event is going to playoff there over there. But it's some really good golf. I enjoy watching it Sunday morning, especially with the PGA Tour kind of they were just tough to watch the Japanese tournament. But again, there's a couple names up there, but Penge kind of turned out, and I think a couple of them. There are a couple other players down on this list who should make some noise on the PGA Tour. I mean, Ho Tong Lee, he was kind of battling Scotty at the Open Championship this year. He's eighth on the list. He should have his PGA Tour card locked up here. Alex Noren,
He won
two-time winner
twice,
recently. Yeah,
right before the Ryder Cup. Yeah.
yeah, and he's been on the PGA Tour. He lost his card, injuries and stuff. So again, there are a couple good ones and a couple other ones that we'll see. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I think Marco Penge winning this season, winning for the third time this season, really puts a spotlight on him, and and I'm happy for him. I know. Last year, I think he had the little betting suspension. I don't really want to focus on that too much because obviously I want to focus on his success, and I'm very. It's been a
yeah,
very good season for him. Where he won, I think at the beginning of the season back in the winter, and then another one in the summer, and now this one in the fall. So he's had a really good year. I know him and Harry Hall could have been maybe had an argument for the Ryder Cup team, but once
yeah.
Fitzpatrick and Hogard, as you said, kind of solidify it. I don't. Unfortunately, it's hard to break into that really talented Ryder Cup team on the European side.
Yeah, I mean, I did not know that betting scandal, so that's interesting to come off that and to win 3 times is the mental fortitude for that. But yeah, good for him. I think that the other big news from last week was the Corn Ferry Tour finals. So again, like we were talking about with the DP World Tour, they get 10 PGA Tour cards they hand out. Corn Ferry gets 20. They finished their last event. Chandler Planchette won. He earned his card. So they have 20 new guys. The number one person on this, Johnny Kiefer, who's been he's been atop their Corn Ferry points list for most of the season. He had 2 victories this year. He is into the players in the US Open with that. So he's one of them. Neil Shipley, who was the low am at 2 years ago Masters, I
Yeah,
think.
that sounds right.
He
Yeah.
played, yeah, he played with Tiger in the final round. He kind of got popular on the full swing. He's won twice this year. He finished fourth on the list, so there's another one who got his card. there are a couple other golfers who have earned their PGA Tour card, like Hank Laboda, he was an average PGA Tour player, not good, but he'll be back on the tour. SH Kim, he's played on the tour for a couple different years. So good. Again, a lot of new players coming. I thought it. Let's see. I had the number here of how many have not played on the PGA Tour before. 12 players will be PGA Tour rookies next year out of the 20 given out. So again, some new blood. With the way the schedule is, it's just hard. It's just hard for these rookies. I know we were talking about McCarthy, who just had that low round over at the Baycurrent. He was one of them. I think he was the leading point getter on the Corn Ferry Tour last year, and he then 2 weeks later, after getting his PGA Tour, he won. So again, it's tough, especially with the elevated events. They're kind of put in a status where they're not in those elevated events yet. They kind of got to play the way in.
Yeah,
It's tough.
as we saw at the end of the year with that top 30, I know who was it that Ricky Fowler with the top 50 to get
Yeah.
into the BMW was kind of pretty controversial thing. So definitely more of a challenge for these new guys and these guys that aren't in the signature events to kind of get points to progress in the season to the FedEx Championship and the BMW, the playoffs, all that stuff.
Yeah, and I know I got to pull that up. So even with the current um list, even like there are still people playing the fall events for signature event status. So the 51 to 60 range, if you finish in that after the fall event, you get into the first two. So I think it's the Genesis and AT&T Pebble Beach. You get into those signature events. So these players who are playing in the fall who are kind of iffy, like right now, like Max Grazerman, he's 51. Like Heel's probably locked, especially after his finish last year. I mean, Aldrich Portgeeter, who won in the playoff in Detroit, the rookie, he's at 52. He should be in. Chris Kirk, a multiple time winner. Minwoo Lee, he won down in Houston this year. He's at 55. Jordan Spieth at 56. So some of these guys, Garrick Higo, who's played well, he's at 57. Jake Knapp, 58. Wyndham Clark, 59. He isn't. He did. I think he did play in Japan this week. But if he wants to get into some of those signature events, he's got to play. I think there's like four more left if he wants to solidify because 59 is not close. I mean, Joe Highsmith, he's 60. He won on the PGA Tour this year, and he's 60. If that's with a
E-
win.
Even with Wyndham Clark's, I know he won the U.S. Open a couple years ago. Does he not get elevated status because of that? I know he gets into all the majors, but I don't. Does that not apply to
Yeah.
signature events? Do you?
I'm not. Yeah, that I'm not sure. Again, it's the Ricky Fowler Jordan Spieth debate. He'll get in based off sponsor exemptions just because that's how the tour is. They want the big names, they want the major champions in there. But I mean, there are a couple players who it's again those two signature events can change the course of your season and career. Like Michael Kim, who is a good PJ Tour player. He got into some of those last year. He played well in them, got into more signature events. He finished, I think it was 31 on the
He's
FedEx
31.
Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he goes and wins in France a couple weeks ago.
Right.
So I
Yeah.
mean, if you can play your way in and then play up, now Michael Kim, he's in all the signature events this year. He's in all the majors again. Um, just yeah. So I mean, as those FedEx Cup fall events happen, I know you're like, oh well, what is there to play for? I mean, some of these rookies, some of these guys who have conditional status, they need to get in because if you were ranked 71 to 100, now the top 100 keep your tour card. That isn't finalized till after the fall. So like someone like Joel Damon, who was I think in 85th after the season ended, he's now dropped to I think it's past. Yeah, he's now 103. So he wouldn't have a full PGA Tour card last next year if it's ended right now. So again, some of these players who are on that bubble, Max Homa, he's at 100 now. He's exempt because he's a winner and he's playing on exemption. But some of these other guys, Tom Kim, 94. I mean, some of these big
Wow. What
name
happened to Tom
players,
Kim? Wow. That's
he just had a
surprising.
very bad year. Gary Woodland, obviously everything with him, 82. Nikolai Hogart, 80. I mean, the 80s, they're probably safe and they'll play again. But yeah, someone like Joel Damon, who we all love, he's obviously been popular on the full swing. He was close this year in the Dominican and then kind of went, I think he went bogey on 17, 18 to lose to Garrett Kigo. Again, just winning one of those opposite field events gets you exempt for a year and a half, 2 years.
Right.
So I mean, it's tough. There's no PGA Tour event this week. There are one on the LPGA
Yeah,
and
the
the DP
LP
World Tour.
the LPGA Tour event this week is the BMW Ladies Championship, and that's at Pine Beach Golf Links in Korea. And so this is the sixth playing of the BMW Ladies Championship. And as it being in Korea, there's 22 players in the field that are from the Republic of Korea. So that should be a good tournament to watch. I know coming down towards the end of the season there, it ends roughly a month or so. So a lot of points on the line. Yeah, should be a should be a good watch.
Yeah, I saw Hannah Green's the defending champ. I saw we were talking about Minji Lee. She's in the field again. Um, and then so she's also past champion 2023. And then the 2021 champion, Young Ko, she's also in the lead. 20 of the 26 LPGA Tour winners from this season in the field, 16 of the top 25 in the Rolex rankings in the field. So again, another good field. Um, should be a good time over there. Again, no PGA Tour event. The DP World Tour is in India, so this is
I
the inaugural. Yeah,
I saw this.
and
I saw the coverage for this tournament. A lot of big names in this tournament.
yeah. So this is their inaugural DP World India Championship. They've never played in India before, so yeah, like you saying, I mean, Americans in the field: Ben Griffin, Brian Harmon. I love that these Americans on the PGA Tour are going over to play some of these events. I know, like we mentioned, Michael Kim played a couple weeks ago and won. I saw Wyndham Clark has played.
Yeah,
Billy
because
Horschel.
Ben Griffin does not need to be playing. Does not need to play in this
No,
event. Not at all. I
no,
think like he's got his status locked up. He finished inside the top 30 on the PGA Tour. He
yeah,
won I think multiple times actually.
yeah. He's
So
12th in the world. He
yeah,
doesn't need
he
to
there
go
is
over
no
there.
need for him. I think there is no need for him to be playing in India in October. But I mean, maybe
No,
he just loves the game. Maybe wants some more practice. I
yeah,
don't know. Just I love it though. He's
yeah. I think it
truly dedicated.
keeps him in kind of form. I know Brian Harmon's over there. So again, is it maybe a sponsorship thing? Is it they just want to get more world ranking points? They want to keep playing well. I know Harmon hasn't played since the Tour Championship. Griffin kind of coming off a disappointing Ryder Cup. Maybe that's it. Like you said, star-studded: Roy McIlroy, Fleetwood, Shane Lowry, Victor Hovland, Michael Kim. Like we mentioned, he's over there playing too. I'm pretty sure I saw Luke Donald also in the field. I'm trying to see if I can find. Yeah, Luke Donald's in the field. So again, should be a good tournament. First time in India for a lot of these players. They're wrapping up their season right now. I think there's one more event in their kind of race to Dubai. So next week they play in South Korea, and then they have the two playoff events down in Dubai the first 2 weeks of November. Again, Rory McIlroy, he's leading the race to Dubai rankings right now. I think he's won it something like, I want to say 3 or 4 times. Let's see if I can find that quickly. No, not working for me. Let's see if I can search his name. But again, yeah, it's interesting. I know I saw that John Rahm, I don't know if you saw, I just saw this before we got on here. He obviously, John Rahm is John Rahm. He played last week in the Spanish Open in his home country. He said afterwards that he will not play for 3 months. So he's not playing in any more DP World Tour events this year. And his first event will be the Live Golf um, opener in, I think it's in Rida in February. So I thought that was strange. I thought
I mean,
someone who,
good for him. He's got the luxury to do that.
yeah,
He's got the check. There is no need for him to make any more money. Not like he needs status on the PGA Tour. He's got live locked up. So I mean, yeah, go on a 3 month vacation, John Rahm. You won the Ryder Cup. Did what you were expected to did what you had to do. I mean, fair play. Like good for him.
yeah, I know it. I just thought like maybe, I guess he's into the Masters already, so he doesn't need to fight for world ranking points. He's in the U.S. Open. He's won the U.S. Open. He has the major exemptions into all four majors based off his major wins. So he doesn't really need to play. I know he's probably he can't be tired. He hasn't played a lot, but I know he didn't really win an individual title, didn't win on Live, didn't win any of the majors. So maybe there's some mental draining there that he wants to take some time off. I know he has some young kids. But yeah, just thought maybe one more DP World Tour event before there. But oh
I know
well.
playing in Spain meant a lot to him. I know that. So that was a big
Yeah.
tournament for him to play, and obviously for the fans there, they get to see John Rahm play in Spain. Like, what's better than that if you're living in Spain? Obviously, I live in
Yeah.
America. I want to go to a tournament to see all my favorite Americans and big stars play. So, I mean, yeah,
Yeah, so I've got that. So Rory McIlroy has won the race that divides 6 times. So that's pretty much winning the FedEx Cup 6 times. Now he's won the FedEx Cup, I think, 3 or 4 times here. So he's won it the last, he won it 2022, 2023, 2024. Okay, so he's won it the last 3 years. So looks like he's first in the standings now, just based off all of his finishes. Um, so if he wins in 3 weeks here, and about a month is when they'll wrap up. If he wins for the seventh time, fourth year in a row, not that shocking. Again, just a model of consistency. He's been the last couple of years, multiple wins in each year. Good for him. I don't think it's been talked about like how good he's been because of Scotty. Like just Scotty's been so dominant with multiple wins, winning 5 times in back-to-back years. But Rory again was the best player up to June this year. He had the players, he had the AT&T, he had the Masters. Um, I just think it's almost he's gone under
I I
the
agree.
shadow, but I think he doesn't mind it, especially with all the live golf talks that happened for 2 years there, and he was just the face of it.
I
I think
know.
him being able to just be in the shadows now and just play golf has been
Obviously, it's
great.
Rory. He's not gonna. Obviously, he can't disappear into the shadows. It's Rory McIlroy.
Yeah.
I know. Last year he was the face of the PGA Tour, speaking out against Liv, just kept thrown under the bus with that one deal. I mean, obviously you have Scotty Scheffler, the number one golfer in the world. But Rory, I 100% agree with you though. He's been slept on this year with his major wins, and then the Ryder Cup, now the DP World
So
Tour.
good.
I mean,
Yeah.
he's just one of the best players in the world,
Yeah.
honestly. And for
It
the last
just
how many years? For last decade plus, right? Like,
2009.
yeah.
Like it's been, I know I was looking up the PGA Tour wins leader last week for my article just because Tiger Woods won his 82nd career win at the Baycurrent. So I was looking at the list and you got these players like Tom Watson and all that. And as for as good as Rory's been, I mean, he has 29 wins, I think it was. He's still like he's not close to VJ Singh. He's not like he's still need like if you were to play another 5 years and win 3 more times a year, like that'd be great. But like then you just put in perspective like how hard it was for Tiger to win 82 times, and that's with multiple seasons with injuries. I mean, we got to talk about a little another back surgery for him.
I mean, that's why he's the
I don't
GOAT.
I don't want to say it, but I'm gonna go out on a limb, and we may not see Tiger play another professional tournament for I don't know, a year at least. If
No.
you're talking about
Are
disc
you referring to
replacement,
the surgery he had recently,
yeah,
like this
recent,
week?
yeah, a disc replacement at is he almost 50 or just turned 50? I just as a golfer, like back injuries are like the worst nightmare. It's like a knee injury for a football player, and
I mean,
just
his whole body is just reconstructed with metal now. His back, I know
yeah,
his legs after his car accident recently, or
yeah.
actually, that wasn't recently, like
I
5 years
mean,
ago maybe, but
yeah,
yeah,
hate
I mean,
seeing it. I did not enjoy reading that off his Twitter. I mean, whenever he tweets, I'm not like, oh, what's wrong now? I know with the TGL coming up here in January, I think that's probably why he got out ahead of it because definitely won't play in that. So it'll be interesting to see what role he has there. But again, yeah, it's another tough blow for you can argue he's the GOAT. You can argue Jack Nicklaus is the GOAT. Like whoever it is, like he's probably the most talented golfer ever. And just kind of how his career has been, I don't want to say shortened because it wasn't shortened, but derailed maybe by some of these injuries. Like it's tough because if he doesn't have all those injuries and all the accidents and everything else that's gone on in his career, like He probably has more than 82 wins. He's probably the major winner. He probably has 20 plus majors, but it's all just
Yeah.
part of the story,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
who knows? Yes.
Yeah. So like we said, the LPGA has tournament next or this upcoming week, the DP World Tour. No PGA tournament. We'll be back next week with recaps of the DP World Tour, the LPGA Tour, and then we'll preview the events for next week. Before we go, we have some exciting news. Our podcast, so the Draw, Fairway to Green podcast, is now live on Apple and Spotify. So
Yes.
go, yep. So that's pretty cool. Was searching that through the Apple Podcast and saw it. So that's a cool thing for us. We're excited to do it. So please go over there, subscribe, follow whatever you do, leave us a review, listen to us. All right. We usually try to get these out Wednesday, sometimes Tuesday. Keep watching on YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Yeah, so it's pretty exciting. Again, as the season wraps up here, all the season DP World Tour, LPGA, PGA, we'll start and get some other stuff. I'm thinking maybe do some award stuff here
I
soon. I
agree.
know
Have some
that
fun.
should be that should be coming out. I gotta see when that comes out. We should get that done before it comes out. Some just moments of the year on the tours should be fun, and then maybe get into some other stuff. I know the PGA trade shows in January, so I know there's some talks of maybe some live interviews down there, going down there, interviewing some people, maybe have them get some guests on the podcast would be nice as we start to grow this thing out. Yeah. All right. So enjoy the golf this weekend. If you're playing golf, enjoy it, and we'll see you next week.